everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Jess from BehatiLife. Thank you so much for tuning in. Today is a bit of a different look. This is because I was in the shower and getting ready when I got this message and I knew I needed to share it. I didn't want to take any time to hesitate to come on here and share this message. I figured that you would just accept me for, how I am right now. And I didn't want to waste any time because I feel, and my belief and what life has shown me is that if you get a feeling, if you are intuitively called to do something, just do it, just go for it. So that's what I'm doing this morning. So yes, I'm in my robe. Yes, my hair is wet. I was washing my hair and it's wrapped up in this plush towel, and I was just putting on body butter, the shameless plug right now, the Honey Goddess beauty butter that I just released in my apothecary. I am obsessed with it. It is so freaking good. I mean, all the body butters in the shop are really good, but this one is, all of them are so good, but I'm just really gravitating towards this one. It actually has honey in it, cocoa butter, coconut oil, it's just a rich, creamy mix, and my skin is drinking it up. Lately it's been like 12 degrees, 0 degrees here lately, here in Philadelphia. All of a sudden we had a dip in our temperature, so my skin has been dry, my hair has been dry, and this little baby has just been moisturizing me and taking care of my skin, and I'm so thankful for it. But anyways, the links for that, if you need it or want it, are in my bio. But either way, it's perfect that I'm even using this body butter, and this message came to me to share because they really actually do go in alignment with each other, which is this idea of empress energy and the feeling of reception and being open to receive. And that's the message that I got today. Now, for the last 2 days, well, now 3 days, while I was getting up and shuffling the cards and thinking about or being open to receiving a message for my tribe on Instagram and here on YouTube, the energy of the Empress just keeps on coming in and keeps on coming through. In fact, even as I was getting ready to come in and share this message with you guys, I shuffled the cards because I wanted to do a daily card pull for you here on the YouTube channel. Thumbs up if you want to see more daily messages from tarot intuitive messages here on the YouTube channel. I'm more than happy to do them for you. But the Empress jumped out, and she's just been everywhere. And where this message comes from today is last night I was working on this reading for one of my clients, and she's stunning to work with, has the sweetest energy always. And she asked me a question, and I don't want to give any names, or I don't want to, give the details of the question, because every reading that I do is so sacred and so private and exclusive that I would never share the details of what anybody asks me. It's just something between, reader and the person who's asking the question. But the question that she asked was about her future and what I saw for her future, and just confirmation if something was going to happen and was going to occur. And, of course, as a tarot reader, as an intuitive, as a clairvoyant, and all the other gifts, I am going to naturally gravitate towards asking the question internally in order to get a question for her externally and deliver that question over to her, and shuffle. But while I was doing that, and when I opened up for the message to deliver the message over to her, this larger message came through, which is that's actually pretty normal for me. That sometimes I'm asking a specific question, and the answer that comes through is so large on a grand scale that it applies to all of us, and it needs to be shared on a larger scale. And I think that was one of the reasons why I was kind of guided to create a YouTube channel, even though I was so uncomfortable with the idea at first and really was dragging my feet with it at first. But I think a lot of these messages are designed to go on a larger scale, or at least to plant that seed of thought into someone's mind, and then someone else take it to a larger scale, or whatever the case may be. But and when I say this message, it really is kind of tailored towards women right now, but it applies to everyone. It applies to men and women. But when she asked this question, the message that came through was that we forget how powerful we are. We truly do forget how powerful we are, especially as women. And This is because we second guess ourselves, we have doubt, we worry, we overthink things, or sometimes we commit ourselves to things that don't serve us. Maybe it served us in the beginning, but over time we are still committed to it, we're still locked into it, and we put that a priority to the point where we neglect ourselves, we neglect our intuition, we neglect what we want for ourselves out of fear or hesitation, because what we see right now is what we think we want, but we know within our core that that's not truly what we want, because it doesn't feel right, it doesn't feel good, and it's not for us. And a lot of times we see this in relationships, a lot of times we see this in jobs. It's almost like this blessing comes in our life and we're happy for it and we're grateful for it, but it serves its purpose, it serves its, it serves its time, and then when it's time for it to go, we kind of latch on and hold on to it. And what ends up happening there, it's sometimes it really what it comes from is this. And when I am feeling this message that was coming through, I'm like, okay, this is connected to self-love and an inability to believe that there's better for us, because are we worth it? Can the universe give to this, give this something like this to us again? Am I worthy of receiving this? And we get we put ourselves in these situations or we find ourselves in situations that we're serving and serving and serving and having expectations, or we're trying to change the circumstance. And what we're doing is we're diminishing ourselves, but definitely diminishing our personal power by sticking in a situation that is not for our benefit anymore. And release. We have to release. We have to let it go. We have to trust. We have to put our faith in a higher power. But also, doing that, we activate our personal power. And the magic, when we let go of something and when we trust and when we realize that we deserve so much more, that's when our magic becomes activated. It starts to swirl. It starts to build up. And even as I'm saying this now, I get the feeling that people are doubting it. And they're like, I just don't see it happening, or I see it happening for other people, but Jess, I just don't believe that this is going to happen for me. And I don't believe that, love is going to come in, or I'm going to love again, or I'm going to have the job that provides for me, or I'm going to be able to be out of the situation. I'm going to be able to live my best life, whatever the case may be. And that's simply, it's just not true. Like, is there ever going to be something that someone says that is going to make it clear to you that that is not true? Is there ever going to be something, can anyone ever convince you and let you know that, so that you actually believe that there is something far better out there? Is there a word or a sentence that will make it so that it will permanently stick in your head that there is so much more out there for you? Doesn't it exist? And me even saying this now makes me so emotional, because I feel, I get that struggle. I get that, walking on edge, or that fear of moving forward. I get the pain of letting something go. I get the fear of walking forward into your future. I get not knowing what's going to happen. I get hoping for the best, and sometimes life giving you some of the worst. But you guys, when you step into your faith and when you step into your personal power, anything becomes possible. And I was telling my client this. I'm like, look, girl, in my own life, I am the hugest skeptic. The biggest. The hugest. Is hugest a word? It is now. I'm the biggest skeptic. And I questioned God's existence. I questioned angels' existence. And I was so, bullheaded. I was so stubborn. And if it wasn't for that stubbornness, if it wasn't for that skepticism and me questioning and challenging, I would not be where I'm at now, which is, I can say without a shadow of a doubt that there is something bigger, deeper. There's an energy, a vibe, a higher power. Angels, guides, number one, I've seen them. I've talked about it in one of my last videos about the time Archangel Gabriel came to me. But not only that, but there is a reason for why you are here, but there is a reason for why you want what it is that you want, and it's given to you by a higher power that is so loving, so generous, and it wants to deliver what it is that you want in your life. But half of the time we're too scared to even ask for it. Half of the time we look at what comes into our lives and we're like, this is it. My human brain decided that this is it, so now this must be it. And if I give up and if I let go of this, then I'm gonna never experience this again. And it's simply not true. It's not true. We as women, but men too, but really this message is focused on women. I'm sorry to say it, but it's just, I don't know if it's because 82% of my followers are women, but I mean the message right now is focused primarily towards women, but it impacts all of us, you know. But and maybe just the feminine side of, maybe it's not women, maybe it's the feminine side of women and men, because even men have feminine sides. They should have a feminine side that they activate. In order to have balance within in their life, there has to be a balance of masculine energy and feminine energy. So right now what I'm talking to is the feminine side within each of us. That's what I'll say. But we kill our own magic by not allowing ourselves to receive the blessings. We kill our own magic by not allowing ourselves to open up to potential. We kill our own magic by doubting it. We kill our own magic by second guessing it. We kill our own magic by reacting on fear and logic all the time. Because magic, manifestation, miracles, they're not logically explainable. So you can't work them if using your logic. You can't work them using your mental figuring. You just, it doesn't work that way. You can't analyze it into reality. You have to, it's an energy, it's a feeling. And masculine energy is when you set the intention. Feminine energy, there has to be balance with everything, is when you receive. And this week, there's a strong energy of receiving and being open to allowing others to give to you what you deserve, giving to yourself what you deserve, investing in yourself, in your health, taking the time out that you need, not being a hamster on a hamster wheel, just running the race all the time. Reaching out to people, telling people your feelings, honoring your feelings, taking time for yourself, all of those things are feminine and all work to bring in magic into your life. So that being said, I have to take a sip of my tea. Look, even this says, worry less, giggle more. Actually, when I got this mug, I was like, how cheesy. But as I was walking around, you guys know I love Marshalls, I love TJ Maxx and Ross, and I was walking around and I kept on thinking about it, and I was like, okay, it's cheesy, but I love it, and I love the message, and I am a Virgo with a lot of like Mercury in my chart, Mercury energy in my chart, and you know, we're prone to overthinking things, and I mean, it's like, you know, you think, and I always check in with myself to be like, you know, go back to this. The times when I'm not abundant, my life isn't abundant, it's because I'm trying to figure it out in my head. But the times when I'm effortlessly abundant is the times when I'm just moving with the flow and I set the intention and I let it go. And my whole life unfolds after that. Literally, you guys, every single relationship that I've ever been in my life was something that I wrote down on paper, asked the universe for it, and it manifested within less than a month of itself. The same thing with my career situation, my career, my internship, my living situations. I mean, the odds were always stacked against me, and I always just moved in faith. I asked for what it was that I wanted, and with under a month, everything that I asked for manifested itself when I allowed myself to flow freely. And that's true. So if you'd like to hear more stories about that, I could do like a story time. I did pull some cards, of course, for this type of reading because I wanted to. But the cards that I'm working with today are some of my favorites from Flowers from the Dead. The deck is stunning. if you would like to see me do a video about my favorite oracle decks and my favorite tarot card decks, give me a thumbs up or comment down below. I can do that, but this one deck I just always gravitated towards it, and it's Flowers from the Dead, and I pulled these two cards. One is Gentle, Kindness, and Mystery and Magic. And I find those so telling and so gorgeous. One is the crow, and the other one is the deer. And if you think about the deer, it's not known for, at least in my area, it's not known for being intelligent. But it is known for being gorgeous to look at, powerful, gentle, very quiet. In my area, in New Jersey, Philadelphia, you know, the surrounding area, there's a lot of deer that run the woods around here. And if you've ever come across them, you don't really know that you come across them, but because they're so quiet and they're so they're huge, but they're quiet, and they're like, you never really know until they get up and they take off running, and you can feel the ground rumbling between your feet, and it's so terrifying. I remember my one experience with a deer, and it scared the crap out of me. But the deer is delicate and gentle, and it's not here to harm anybody for the most part. I laugh because in New Jersey, everybody knows that deer run out into the street and create a lot of harm. They seem harmless, but my God, they're terrifying with that. But that's neither here nor there. That's just my own relationship with the deer. But what I love about this is the energy of being gentle and kind. And what I see with this card and with this energy is I see the spirit of being gentle and kind with yourself, and also with others, but also with your progress and where you're at now and what's going on around you. There's so much harshness in this world. Outside of the fact that, you know, you have social media and sarcasm all the time, people being negative, you know, violence, the things that we see on YouTube lately, it really, we get used to this harshness, and we become aggressive, we become guarded, we become protected. And I love the fact that this card jumped up because, again, it's connected to the energy of the Empress, which is all about nurturing and self-love and gentleness and kindness, and also being in an energy of fertility and receiving and abundance across the board. After that, with the crow showing up, the crow was the first one to jump out, and it was talking about mystery and magic. The crow is so intelligent, and it gives a call, it signals that there's something that's on the horizon, there's something that's coming, there's something that's developing. And the crow is always connected to mystery and magic, and that's exactly what it is that we're talking about, which is setting your intention, making magic, entering into your own magical space. And I love that. And then, of course, the Empress jumped out, which is all about receiving and knowing your worth and connecting back to self-love and receiving love, and not doing everything for everyone, giving excuses, explaining for someone else. Let them do what they're going to do. Do you. Take care of yourself. Focus on you, and giving to the things that you need that require your energy, but also give back to you with their energy. So that's, and then this other quote came through, and I've seen it before years ago, but it's here now. And the quote, forgive me for not knowing it exactly, but hopefully I'll Google it and put it down in the bio. But the quote that came to me is, the flower just blooms and the bee appears. So it's like this blooming phase that we're in right now. It really does, again, it makes so much sense because it's connecting with this Empress vibe, this Empress energy of receiving. And the flower just naturally and effortlessly blooms. It doesn't fight, it doesn't struggle, it just does what it does the way that only it knows how to do within its time frame while it's here on Earth. And because of that, the bee comes and extracts the honey and pollinates it and keeps the abundance going and flowing. And that's what I love, that message, because I want that for all of us, to be in a space of effortlessly growing, effortlessly blooming, and being pollinated and giving back to this world just by simply being who you are, that stunning, sparkling, radiant, energetic beauty. Okay, so I love you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please share this video for those that need it. Tag a friend. Make sure that you're subscribed to this channel because there's plenty more messages where that came from. I've got many orders that need to go out, including this decadent honey goddess beauty butter that a lot of people picked up in this recent shop update. I'm going to be restocking it and recreating it very, very soon because it's sold out almost immediately as I put it out there. So thank you guys so much for that. Let me know what you think. Oh, it's so good. I mean, just like, it's so creamy. Look how easy and effortlessly it just melts into your hand. I know it looks greasy and stuff, but it actually just absorbs into the skin immediately. And I love it. You can put it on your hair. You can put it on your neck. It smells stunning. It has cardamom. It has sweet orange blossom. It has a bit of patchouli. It has honey. It's decadent. I deserve it. You deserve it. I love you. Bye.